planet that exists in the same universe as Earth, a sister planet that hides scary things. Today, we're going to look at Earth's sister planet, Venus, which is a hellish place that is strangely like Earth. Venus has been known to people since they first learned to look up at the sky. In the past, it was called both the morning star and the evening star because it was so bright at sunrise and sunset. NASA eventually figured out that it was a planet and that, like Earth, it was around the sun. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today's video is about NASA and Elon Musk reveals insane plans to colonize Venus. However, before we begin our video, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. The space era and the numerous missions that have been dispatched to Venus have provided us with a comprehensive understanding of the planet's atmosphere and climate. When it comes to a location that is so packed with items that normal surface imaging is not practicable there doesn't appear to be much use in going there, what with the rain being sulfuric acid and the heat being so fierce that it can melt lead. However, over the course of the past few years, we've gained the knowledge that Venus was once a totally different environment, one that featured oceans and continents. In addition, if we had the appropriate technology, we could be able to establish secure communities well above the atmosphere. So, what would it take for Elon Musk and NASA to colonize Venus? As is the case with other concepts for the colonization of the solar system, everything hinges on the amount of money we're prepared to pay, as well as the kinds of methods and technology at our disposal. Imagine a group of astronauts conducting research on one of the most hazardous planets in the solar system while living in a metropolis built inside of a blimp that is suspended around 30 miles above the surface of Venus. That is exactly what NASA is doing right now. They're mulling over a concept that could one day lead to a manned mission lasting 30 days on the planet that is adjacent to our own. At the conclusion of the expedition, it is possible that there'll be some people living in space permanently, above the globe. But the first step toward NASA's cloud cities could be robotic probes that take solar-powered machines to Venus. The machines would take in carbon dioxide and spit out carbon and oxygen. We'd save the oxygen for later use and use the carbon to make 300-foot wide hollow tiles with enough empty space inside to make them very light, even light enough to float. The great thing about taking carbon out of Venus's air that can't be breathed is that it starts to change the air's chemical makeup. At the end, it turns into a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen that people can breathe. First, the top layer is lighter. If we were to connect all of these carbon tiles together, we'd be able to cover the entire globe at a height of approximately 30 miles. This would be high enough for us to avoid the planet's most severe heat and wind conditions. Both NASA and Elon Musk concluded that to finish the enormous floating planetary base, 72 trillion tiles would be required. In addition to this, we'd need to consistently produce new tiles to replace the ones that shatter, most likely from the windscreen, as well as patch the holes that are created when an asteroid strikes. Because Venus is sulfurous, it's a hellish region that is extremely hot and has more volcanoes on its surface than any other planet in the solar system. Venus is the most volcanically active planet. Its average temperature is 462 degrees Celsius. Its air pressure is 92 times that of the Earth, and its clouds are comprised of sulfuric acid. Its distance from the Sun is 92 times greater than that of Earth. Even probes that made it to Venus didn't survive for more than 2 hours at most. The temperature at its surface is so high that lead can melt on it, and the air pressure is equivalent to being 1 mile below the surface of the ocean. However, according to scientists, the conditions 50 kilometers above this pot of carbon dioxide are virtually identical to those that exist on Earth, making it one of the few places in the solar system where this is the case. At this altitude, the gravity is only somewhat lower than it is on the surface of the Earth. It has the same amount of air pressure as Canada, plus the space around it blocks a sufficient quantity of the sun's rays. Thus, traveling there is not any riskier than traveling to Canada. NASA's Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia has been hard at work on a preliminary feasibility study, referred to as the HAVOC High Altitude Venus Operational Concept. This study has been carried out by both engineers and scientists. This study investigates the ways in which humans and robots might be able to collaborate to make a trip to Venus a reality. Christopher A. Jones, an aerospace engineer with the Space Mission Analysis Branch, said that the atmosphere of Venus is an interesting place to study more scientifically and to visit in the future. One idea is a vehicle that is lighter than air and could carry either a lot of instruments and probes or a habitat and ascent vehicle for 2 astronauts to spend up to a month exploring Venus. Elon Musk said that the study showed that the mission would take less time than crewed missions to other planets and could even be a test run for a mission to Mars. Venus is much closer to Earth, which is a big plus. At its farthest point from Earth, it's at least 38 million kilometers away, while at its farthest point from Mars, it's at least 54.6 million kilometers away. We believe that the type of long-term mission that has the potential to be successful is an evolving program to investigate Venus, with the primary focus being on the mission architecture and vehicle concept for a crewed journey into Venus's atmosphere, lasting for a period of 30 days. The concept is around how challenging it would be to fly a spaceship through Venus's atmosphere without having to stop and land it on the planet. The Havoc model proposes placing the astronauts inside of an aeroshell that would enter the atmosphere at a speed of 4,500 miles per hour, gradually slow down through its descent to a speed of only 450 meters per second, and finally deploy a parachute. The airship would be revealed as a folded structure once the shell was removed. The blimp would be unfolded by robotic arms, and then helium would be injected into it to make it float approximately 50 kilometers over the burning surface of the planet. Elon Musk has stated that the most important technical challenges for the mission include performing the aero capture maneuvers at Venus and Earth, placing the airships in the appropriate locations and exploding them, and preventing the sulfuric acid in the atmosphere from damaging the solar panels and the structure. If technology continues to advance and more thought is put into the concept, future space exploration by humanity could include trips to the atmosphere of Venus. It's possible that NASA will one day attempt to keep people alive in Venus's atmosphere for an extended period of time. If astronauts traveled across space in gondolas that were hung between airships, they wouldn't have to contend with the physiological effects of zero gravity, which include the atrophy of muscles and the leaching of minerals from bones. It's a strong force, but we think that Elon Musk and NASA will use this planet to their advantage. Elon Musk has found new things recently. This changed the way space exploration was done in general. Elon Musk is making it easier for people on Earth to get to other planets. Let's wait until the aerospace industry goes through a big change. Are you ready to go to another planet by plane? Which planet would you like to learn more about the most? That's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. And if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.